Everyone, hi, good evening. Once again, Bruce Muffson, LCSW from SUNRIDGE of Nevada, coming out with another live stream. And tonight's topic is going to be understanding what to happen when you're in the throes of mental health crisis. I'm going to get to that in a second. I want to break it down a little bit further because that's been asked a lot, through the course of these live streams and also a lot of the comments from the videos. What I want to share also before we begin is that on the 28th, January 28th, at 5:30 p.m., which is where we basically been shooting the live streams, we will have our first paid training. Again, 5:30 this time, West Coast time, will be hour to an hour and a half like these live streams are. Our first paid training on self-esteem and self-confidence. It will go between probably like an hour 15, hour 30. And the way you can find out about it to sign up for it is, I'm just reading this off my teleprompter, is to go to the description box, get all the information that you need, and you'll see the price, what it's going to cost. Just want to clarify, like all of our trainings, it is not going to be exorbitant or out of reach for people, moderately priced, but we'll be charging for this on the 28th, say it one last time, 128, 5:30, self-esteem, self-confidence, and the information for it will be found in the description box. Get all that you need to know. Okay, here we go. And we'll do, I want to show one last thing. The way we're going to do the trainings, though, is a little bit different than the live streams, because the live streams, we let the questions come in right off the bat. For the trainings, the first half an hour is going to be solely about the training. I want to give people a chance to reflect and absorb what I'm talking about. And then after that first half hour, say 5:30 to say 6 o'clock, 6:05, boom. Any questions you have, fire off about the topic or any other part of any other topic you want me to share or talk about. But the first half hour will be strictly about the training. I want the lesson to be absorbed. There's going to be homework. There's going to be questions for you to think about. You don't leave my trainings without being forced to do work afterwards. But it's designed to make you stronger and more confident and more self-aware. And then at that point, 5:30, 6 o'clock, let's say 6:05, questions, no problem. We're ready to rock. Okay. First one right off the bat. Silly Duck, thank you. Appreciate you commenting. Now, this comment, the reason why we're doing the training tonight, and we'll probably do it the next as well because I have a ton of information, is people often ask indirectly from the comments, they'll say, what do I do if this happens, or if that happens, or if this happens, or if this happens, my buddy, mental health issues, or I'm not really sure what to say. And I've talked about that a lot in the videos with certain artists. Like if I would have been like the guy's therapist, so to speak, what I would have done just watching the video, if there's a video with the song, or just the way the person's talking on interviews or clarifying things, like I would have had this person admitted. I would have had this person under the care of a psychiatrist or inpatient mental health program, mental health hospital, or at least seeing me 2-3 times a week. But the reality is, and I realize this now as I answer a lot of those comments, you guys don't have that experience. You guys don't have that knowledge. And a lot of times I realize you guys are kind of like, what do I do? What do I say? Should I say this? Should I say that? And you get confused, you get nervous, you get worried. That's fine. So tonight is going to be a primer on what to do when things break down and the do's and don'ts. A lot of the comments I took from one particular source, which was pretty good. And I'll share where I took it from, of course. But I want to share with you like the reality of certain things as well. When things do happen, what is reality, what is practical, and what really is probably not going to happen. Sounds nice. We hope for it, but doesn't really work that way. And just to quote a comment from the movie Platoon, Sergeant Barnes, the character that Tom Berenger played, he makes the comment, there are things the way they ought to be, and there are things the way they are. I'm not saying 100% accurately, but you get the point. We want certain things to happen, may not. You got to deal with the reality of those situations as well and how you're going to respond to it. Okay, here we go. I have 5 different articles I pulled. I pulled every article from a company called Healthline, and they had some good information for each one of them. I want to go into the first piece. Now, we had a couple of questions we wanted to ask. Here we go. The topic is, what can you do if someone is having a mental health crisis? First one, what is a mental health crisis? What are the causes? What are the symptoms? How can you help somebody that's going through a crisis? What types of treatment are available? And what are some available resources? Okay, here we go. First question is, the first comment is, what is a nervous breakdown? Now, realistically, we don't use the term nervous breakdown anymore. That's an old term that has been really kind of no longer really enthusiastic pushed by mental health people. But because of decades of TV, movies, and books, nervous breakdown is still in the lexicon and still in the language of how people talk about things. Like he just had a breakdown, a nervous breakdown. He lost it, a nervous breakdown. We don't really say that anymore. But here's the point. It's a term used to describe a period of intense mental distress. Things are not going well. You're struggling. Things are very, very difficult. Okay, fine. And during this period, you are unable to function in your day-to-day life. Okay, what's the equivalent of something like this? You have a horrible case of the flu. You're throwing up. You're nauseous. You can't keep food down. Your head's aching. You're taking tons of medication. Well, you're going to probably be in bed for like the next 2-3 days till you start feeling better. But to say something like, hey, let's go out to eat, let's go out to have a good time, let's get a couple of beers, let's go see a movie, let's handle the stress at work, you're not equipped for it. Because for those 48 to 72 hours, you're not mentally on top. You're not physically on top of your game. An intense mental health crisis is exactly the same thing. You're not functional for that period of time. Okay. Now, the term used to refer to several things: depression, anxiety, acute stress disorder. We've talked about that, a lot in these videos. What is depression? What is anxiety? What's acute stress disorder? But it includes the intense symptoms of stress and an inability to cope with life challenges. That's really what I wanted to focus on, is an inability to focus on life's challenges. Give an example. Another busy day at work, nothing unusual for me. It's always going to be busy, always things I got to get done, one after the other, blah, 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 blah. But I have to be here. And I have to show respect to my agent/producer to be on time, to be ready, to be focused, and not for him to say to me, Bruce, where's the paperwork? Where's your stuff? How come you're not ready? You're wearing the wrong kind of shirt. You didn't shave. Can't do that. Now, it's a stressor, but I make it applicable to me by leaving on time, coming here on time, getting ready, getting myself calm. I'm handling life's challenges. Now, when I leave here, I have other work I got to get done tonight still. It is what it is. But I'm not going to leave here and go to a bar and have 8 beers. I'm not going to ask someone at the bar, hey, do you have any drugs I can buy? Oh, you got some meth? Whew, great. Go to the parking lot, do a couple of lines of meth, and get into my car and drive half a mile and hit the back of another car at an intersection. Not good. Not handling life's challenges well. And you create for yourself a huge amounts of problems. Can't do that. Can't do that. I'm going to leave here. I'm going to stop at a 7-Eleven. What am I going to buy? Not donuts or pastries, which I would have done a couple of years ago because I deserve it. I'm probably giving myself a cup of tea. Woo, and go to my next appointment. That's it. So I want you to start understanding what this means. You're not able to handle life's challenges. Okay. Now, we got some questions on here. Multidimensionals. Oh, math. Okay. Hey, thank you. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for commenting. What are some of the symptoms of a nervous breakdown? All right. Depressive symptoms. When you're hearing loss of hope and thoughts of suicide or self-harm. I can't do it. I can't make it happen. Now, what I want to clarify about this whole concept with this initial article and this initial topic is I want people to think about when things are small versus before they explode. Learn to recognize the symptoms so they don't have to become overwhelming. And that's something a lot of people don't want to realize or talk about. He was making these comments, he was saying these things. I wasn't really thinking he meant it. I thought he's joking about killing himself, or life sucks. His girlfriend broke up with him. He's drinking a lot. He's smoking a ton of weed. He's doing other drugs as well. He's not eating. His hygiene's poor. He's not brushing his teeth. He wore the same shirt 3 days in a row. Read the signs. That's really the first step in how you prevent anything, is read the signs, be self-aware, and say to yourself, something is odd, something doesn't make sense. It's the first thing you got to start doing. Boom. Okay, let's go. Hey, thank you, guys. Thank you. What's going to start to happen when you're starting to be under stress? You're going to have anxiety. When you get to be my age, your blood pressure is going to hit the roof, but it could happen even as early as your 20s. Okay. You're going to feel trembly or shaky. All right. Here's another big one we've discussed about a gazillion times. You're not going to sleep well. Insomnia. You're not going to sleep. Hallucinations. You start to see things literally that are not there. When people say that's like, when we do assessments, we always ask that question. Are you seeing something that's not there? Is the walls talking to you? Is a picture on the wall talking to you? And not, most some people will just laugh and blow it off. You'd be surprised how many people will say, after 3-4 days on a meth binge, not sleeping, being homeless, drinking heavily, screaming and yelling and fighting, not eating properly, not changing their clothes, you start to hallucinate. You'd be surprised how quickly it could happen to you. Not taking your antipsychotics, it messes you up. Okay? And extreme mood swings or unexplained outbursts. Again, I come in here, I'm so grateful to my producer, that I'm going to show him respect. I'm not going to take the mic right now and smash it onto the table and say, I'm out of here. How dare you? Got to show respect. Lines are blowing up. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Dead on 50. Luke, thank you. I'm having a mental. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. 10 people. I knew 219. Elusive. Yep. Okay. Yeah. You guys are all sharing what's happened to you. And that's really where the training is going to go, guys, is go into deeper detail of these very, very issues that people are having. So what I want you to understand and realize, to say to yourself, is that you're going to have unexplained outbursts. Like a little thing is going to set you off that you would not normally feel that way. Panic attacks, are they real? Yes, they are. But you get detached from reality and self. Like, hey, Bruce, talking to you. What are you talking about? What's going on? I think you're against me. I'm not against you. I'm just trying to talk to you. No, you're against me. And when you don't have that balance to be in control of yourself, you have a lot of problems. Also, if you dealt with a flashback, PTSD, trauma, let's say it's the birthday of your best friend committed suicide. Let's say it's the birthday of your mother that passed away. You had a father that you loved who was killed in a car accident. All of these things are triggers that you got to be aware of at the given time. So when you say to somebody, hey, is that day going to mess you up? Is that time frame going to mess you up? Is Christmas going to be hard for you this year? You're going to have a tough time over Passover. Like being aware of the situation. Okay. Thank you, guys. Comments are coming in. Bang, 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 bang. Appreciate it. So I want to get them to understand that you're going to see precursors of a behavior that's going to let you know that things are not right. Okay. Now, when you're going through this kind of crisis, here are things to be aware of, and they're not in any particular order. Avoiding social functions and engagements. How come Bruce didn't come over for dinner tonight? How come I didn't see Bruce at church? How come Bruce isn't playing basketball with us tonight? Hey, Bruce always loves going to see these kinds of movies. How come Bruce isn't showing up? Something's odd. Something's off. He always goes to this class. How come Bruce isn't here tonight? You're avoiding social engagements, social encounters. Okay. Eating and sleeping poorly, we get that. It's a biggie. The poor hygiene. I always look to see how someone is dressed. That's huge for me. And for a woman, when I've been to enough prisons and psych hospitals and this and that, I always check a woman's hair. If I see a woman's hair looking like a rat's nest, the bad sign. Makeup is not there, not taking care of herself with her facial issues, huge. When I see a woman put together, she's put together. When I see for a woman changing her hairstyle every 2-3 days, every week, there's something going on mentally. Because when you're changing your hair, for a woman, it's much more personal than for a guy. It says something about it. If I came in here tonight, and I already have short hair, and I'm losing my hair, but if I came in here tonight bald, or I came in here tonight with a buzz cut, or a mohawk, my agent would be like, whoa, what happened, man? What are you doing? So those things are factors. Okay. Calling in sick, we're not showing up at all. I don't care. Let them fire me. I don't need this job. Screw it. I get another job any day. When you start talking like that, that's a bad sign. And finally, isolation in your home, not getting out of the house. With COVID, we get it with COVID, but you're not leaving the house, even to go for a walk, go to a park, go someplace where you're not going to be stuck in the house. Got some questions popping up here. I heard things before and focused hard enough to breathe and realize it was just my thoughts. When my girlfriend broke up, and I'm a strong stalk, but am I okay? Yes. Here's the whole point. Don't let yourself get sucked into that. Take a deep breath. Look at the relationship for what it was, what it wasn't, what it is you want to get out of your next relationship, and how you want to go forward. So it's okay to feel that way, very normal, but don't let it put you into a deep depression or a deep state of like fugue where you don't feel about doing anything. Just brush yourself off, take a shower, realize you're still a desirable person, and go forward. Hope that answer helps you out. Okay. Blaze Scott. Okay, just going forward. And now, what are some of the causes of a nervous breakdown? Here we go. Stress. When you got people on very, very tight deadlines, for instance, people that are really, really stressed out, you're going to see these kinds of issues happening. And I want you to be aware of something. You got to learn, and I tell this to people all the time, and most of the people we learn on this channel tend to be between 15 and 30, so you guys are still young and your bodies are nice and strong and nice and healthy. I'm going to clarify it like this. When you are in the red zone on a car, like your car's limitations. My car, I got a Chrysler 200. You got like the red zone. Like it could handle maybe going 90 miles an hour, probably not more. It's getting kind of old. But 110, can it do it? Yeah, but it's in the red zone. It's too much for the car to handle. Same thing with your body and your personality. Too much stress on a daily basis will mess you up and often put you in that position. So that stress issue is huge. Okay. He said, thank you. No problem. Thank you for that comment, Meet. I appreciate that. Thank you, Luke. Thank you, Meet again. They're coming. Trust me, they're coming. We got one coming in the next couple of weeks. Got another comment. Is it bad that I have my own therapist, yet I still subscribe to you and watch your videos? Not a problem. I always tell people this. I'm not the end-all be-all. If you find other people that you find helpful and you enjoy and you get something out of it, by all means, be eclectic. Don't have to stick with one person. And it's often helpful to get several viewpoints. Nothing wrong with that. Not at all. Thank you for that compliment. But yeah, if you're seeing someone that it's working with, continue it up. Yes, I definitely agree about the death grips. It's coming. For real, that was great advice. That was actually what I needed to hear to get back to working out, living. Absolutely. Absolutely. Any social networks, Bruce? At this point, we're just kind of sticking with YouTube. We may be branching out, Twitter a little bit, but I don't say this as like to say like I'm so amazing, but I'm just so swamped for time that YouTube is our medium right now. And if things improve over time, we'll expand. But right now, it's just strictly YouTube, Meet. That's all. I have a friend who needs help with his mental health, but doesn't know where to start getting back to himself. Any ideas for me? Yeah, very simple, Luke. Ask him what's wrong. Ask him what's wrong. And if he listens to these live streams, he's going to understand where to start looking to get help. So the first thing to do is ask if he has insurance, which I'll get to. Hopefully, probably not tonight, but later. But there are things you can do. But the first thing is to say, what's going on? How can I help? Okay. My girlfriend and I are long distance. She's depressed and going through a lot of issues with her father. Being long distance, I feel powerful. Don't feel powerless. You're her lifeline. You're her lifeline. She needs more than you realize. You stay in contact with her. I know everyone does the texting, and I get it. I'm old school. I'll text. I always follow up with a phone call. For me, it's much more personal. And I get the emojis. I get it. I get all that stuff. Call her. Stay in touch with her. Text her throughout the day and click out a time for like a 15, 20-minute phone call and let her know you're there for her. That's huge. Okay. Religious PT. Yeah. PTSD. That's a tough one. You got to get a competent therapist for that who knows what they're talking about, he or she. I have a lot of training in that. A lot of it stems from issues that are not resolved and not being able to move forward. But you want to get somebody that knows what they're talking about, Luke. But thank you for reaching out. Meet, hey, 10 out of 10. Thank you so much, Meet. Amazing work. Nut salad. Schedule FaceTimes. Thank you again. Yeah, again, Nut, appreciate these comments. These comments are all great tonight. It's really a lot of thank you, Bruce's. And I appreciate all you guys' support. Again, I can't thank my producer / agent enough for all he does for me, but I'm so swamped for time that just to get to these live streams and then start doing a training this year and the videos, I'm just swamped, honestly. Bitchma tribute, thank you. Thoughts on psychedelic therapy? It's still in its infancy. So what's going to happen is it's still a lot of work being done. I've seen work with mushrooms. I know with psychedelics, the VA has made some studies about that. Just be careful unless this person really, he or she really knows what they're doing, because there could be some shrapnel from that. But does it have some promise? Yeah, why not? If things can work, why not? So if it's done the proper way, but you really have to have a person that has a lot of training in that and knows what they're doing, because I've seen so many bad experiments and so many bad trips from psychedelics. But yes, it does have some practicality to it. Okay, Luke, thank you again, man. Luke, appreciate you so much, man. Meet, thank you so much. Meet, thank you again. TYB, actually know what that means now. Thank you, Barve, for that. Flip, my friend recently tried to commit suicide. I feel responsible for not being there for him. All right, let me clarify this. You can only do so much. Okay, ultimately, it's going to be the person's decision. Yes, reach out. Yes, be there, but don't blame yourself. You did the best you could. Hindsight's always 20/20. But don't chew yourself up and don't personalize it. Do not do that. Do not feel responsible. I'm sure you did the best you could. Knowledge is power. That's what this is tonight is about. Nut loves the song. Kendrick Lamar, Chum, other songs by these guys. No problem, Nut. We get it. We get it. Me, thank you. Need real help. Night psychedelic help. You're looking for someone that's going to be trauma focused. That's going to have that awareness of how to work with trauma, complex trauma, physical, sexual, emotional abuse. Listening people, hey, love you, Flip. It's okay, bro. People help me, and the thoughts still come. Thank you. Reaction first. Listen to Bruce. Thank you, Meet. I mean, you've been pounding out the comments tonight. Thank you so much. Much appreciation. So getting back to the comments. So recent traumatic event. That's a biggie. Death in the family. Loved one, cancer, COVID. These are all factors. Serious financial issues. I mean, if I had to pick my one stress that would blow me out of the water, it would be financial problems. And I've been through them, trust me. And honestly, the stress was unrelenting. So that for me would send me over. If I didn't have a way to provide for my family, I would lose it. No exaggeration. That for me would be my red zone. Major life changes is a divorce, huge. Again, the poor sleep, chronic medical conditions. When you're in pain, opioids, you turn to opioids. You can't get opioids, you turn to meth. Yeah, I've seen that happen a million times. When people are in chronic pain and can't get help for it, it makes you nuts because you don't sleep, you can't work, you're stuck to a hot bed, you're stuck to a hot shower. Your life is, your life is limited, and you feel so depressed. Totally understandable about that. Okay. Do you have a therapist for yourself? Not to ask the question. You know what? That's been asked before. It's a good comment. I don't. What I do have is I have I don't say about to say strong. I would say a small circle of friends that I'm close to, that I can unburden myself to, and that's my support systems. I don't have a therapist for myself, but I have a small circle of people that I feel I can open up and vent to and be honest with, and that's what gets me through when I'm having a tough time. So it's a small group, definitely under 10 people. I'd say maybe 5 to 7, and I'm probably being generous, but those people I can really let my hair down to, and that's it. That's how I get through my tough times. So an excellent question. Thinking a lot of my physical health came from lack of hydration and sleep. You got to take care of yourself, man. I'm not going to argue. I learned so much more about my body in the last couple of years that you got to take care of yourself. And if you don't take care of yourself, it's going to catch up with you. I always tell people with the S on their chest, you're not a superwoman, you're not a Superman. There's only one each of those guys. And you put yourself in that red zone year after year, decade after decade, you will crash and burn. I learned that for myself. I've learned how to dial it back. I got to do it. Can't stress that enough. So, what are some of the risk factors that can lead to a nervous breakdown? Here we go. Be aware if there's a personal history of anxiety. That's a biggie. And if there's a family history of anxiety, look at your family histories. Are you more prone to have this based on your family genetics? Okay. Thank you. So, hey, what's up, man? Thank you. So I appreciate it. 17 people. Hey, people. Hey, Bruce, my girlfriend wants to get back and do in love, but she left me. But I feel like being with her but focus on me is okay. 100%. Yes, you got to treat yourself as number one. You got to. You are number one. You got to give to other people. Take care of yourself. 100% on that one. That health for existential crisis. Again, what I'm telling people is you got to finding the right support system, the right therapist. A lot of times people say to me, they'll ask me, Bruce, who do you recommend? Who do you like? Who's this? This is a good program. I always say it's an individual thing. Find the one person you can relate to and stick to it. Can't share that enough. Okay, here we go. Next thing is this. What are some of the things you can do? So how do you manage your symptoms? Okay, what do you got to do? First thing I tell people, even before the mental health piece, is go see your primary care physician. Go to a doctor. You need to get a full medical workup. A lot of the issues you'd be surprised that are mental health related are actually physically related, but are making you sick mentally. So always get a checkup. And I know for guys, you hate going to the doctor. Don't do that. Go to the doctor, make it a regular part of your life. Okay. Thank you, Luke. Okay, thank you guys for talking to each other. I don't have problems anymore. I got all the help I needed, and the case is over, but I still get flashbacks to a false accusation of past because a big part of my reputation is officially ruined. Here's the thing. You got to figure out a way to move on. Okay, that's it. New circle of friends, new lifestyle, new direction. If the old life is not going to be there anymore, if that bridge is burned, move on to a new one. Don't be afraid to go forward. Don't stay stuck in neutral. My friend Yoga here. My friend's been having pretty bad eating issues, and since quarantine, feeling, yep. And when eating food, what do you think she and I could do to help her out with them? She's very far away. Talk to her, and say to her, hey, have you thought about some alternatives to what you're eating? Don't be disparaging. Don't talk down to them. I'm sure you're not. Be supportive. When people are reaching out to you, they're looking for someone to give them an answer. Talk about it. Send some pictures about, hey, here's a salad. Here's another way to look at food. Here's a way to look at, not having this, but incorporating that into your lifestyle. Be supportive. Be supportive. Push it in the right way and get results. Okay. TYP, I know what that actually stands for. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Listen to Bruce, thank you. Meet, thank you so much, man. You get the record for the most comments ever in a live stream. You have blown it up, and we appreciate you very, very much. Thank you. Okay, so definitely do that. Your overall health is not contributing to your symptoms. I've learned from social workers when I go to an emergency room to start asking questions medically. Why is somebody drooling? Why is someone's head down? Were they in a bad car accident recently? Is there a pituitary gland issues? I didn't realize this stuff. Urinary tract infection. These are all factors. What's a person's prior medical history? Are they prone to seizures? Do they have a reaction to something, to a medication, to a food? So be open and be aware of that. So I really can't stress that enough. And then, you want to look at possibly, do you need medication, antidepressant for anti-anxiety? But all of this stuff got to kind of be like preventative. Okay. Listen, Bruce, triggered Honda Boy. Yeah, it's awesome to see the chat moving. Thank you. About to leave, but thank you for the help. Happy to help. Hope it works out. Luke, again, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm actually, I have to, my lingo, my street lingo, my words, I just I look at stuff online. So I know what these words mean, these phrases. Thank you guys much. What the letters mean. Thank you. Much appreciation. Okay. Now, again and again and again, I can't stress this enough. You got to get normal sleep. Don't do the Dracula hours. Don't do the vampire hours where you're up all night and you sleep all day. Disastrous circadian rhythm for you. You want to get a consistent bedtime. You want to go to bed on the right time. You don't want to load yourself up with liquids before you go to bed because you'll be going to the bathroom all day, all night long. But you want to go to bed like 10:30, 11. When you start doing this 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock crap, it catches up to you and it throws you off and you wake up tired. You don't wake up refreshed. So I can't stress enough how important it is to have regular sleep cycles. Go to bed. Stay in bed. By the way, they're saying now between half an hour to an hour, shut off your phone, turn off your iPad, get off the TV, get off the video game console because your brain needs time to calm down. So you're ready for sleep. Take your shower, get your clothes ready for the next day, pack your lunch. Okay, say goodnight to your kids, say goodnight to your wife or husband. Get your homework done, but turn off anything electronic to give your brain a chance to decompress and shut down. Like when you turn off the car engine when it's running hot, you hear like tick, 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 tick. Same concept. Your brain needs time to turn off and process the day. Okay. Flipbuck, how much sleep is good? 7 to 8 hours. That's it. People start cheating on sleep. You'll see this in business magazines a lot. They try and talk how tough they are. I'm a powerful executive in my company. I sleep 4 hours a night. I sleep 5 hours a night. Don't even take it seriously. That's just the public relations person talking. You need 7 to 8 hours of solid sleep for your brain to refresh itself, to clean itself out, to process the day's events, and wake up healthy and refreshed. You start doing 4 hours, 5 hours. I know the alternative. I've seen it a million times. Energy drinks, one after the other. Mountain Dew Plus, endless cups of coffee, candy, and then the crash that inevitably comes from that stuff. Everything with, the caffeine, the nicotine, smoking. Yeah, you do the dip. You can cheat yourself, man, but in the end, the only person you're cheating is yourself. Don't do it. 7 to 8 hours of solid sleep. That's it. Thanks, man. I talked to her about it, and I suggested vitamins to her, so hopefully she'll start sometime soon. How much sleep do you get? Not enough. I try to go to bed by 11:30. I wake up around 7-ish, like around 7, between 7, so 11:30. So I get about 7.5, 7 hours. I'm cutting it. Even though I'm 57, they say you need less sleep. I have not found that to be true. I try and get like between 7.5 hours. I've learned not to drink tons of water before I go to bed. And I try and turn off the computer, not answer any more emails. And like by 11:30, I'm done for the night. That's it. I'll get the emails tomorrow. I'll get my news feed, whatever. Got to get that sleep. And anyone out there, I remember, you're young, you get your sleep, okay? I'm going to check up on you now, but I want you to get your sleep because you need it. You're growing. Okay. Bruce, you're a good man. Thank you in this chat. You guys could love yourselves. Thank you, boss. Going to make. Thank you, Big Bull. Appreciate it. Me, thank you again. Boy, you got to leave these rad fans blown away after you shut the car off. Yeah. Hey, man, it's a rush. I mean, I could do this all night. That's where this is all coming from, is that we said to ourselves years ago now, we wanted to provide mental health, reality mental health to the masses, and it's happening. I'm really excited about the training. I think it's going to be a home run, and I'm not even saying that like, as cocky, but I want people to start getting what they really need with reality-based mental health, not what people fantasize about, where think could happen, where hope happens. But here's the reality from my end of being in this field for almost 25 years now as a licensed social worker, letting you know what really you can expect out there and how to prepare yourself. So when these things happen, you're prepared, you're on top of it, you're ready, you're in control. Okay. Bruce, okay. Big Bull again. Always felt I knew myself and my thoughts because my dad was homeless and had a hard time. Company, nothing person much. And it hit. Thank you to that work. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Here's the thing I want to share also, because it's come up in kind of the comments. People sometimes tell us really rough things about their life. Here's what the trainings are designed to do. I don't care if you come from a dysfunctional background, as long as there's no organic damage. But I can help you get past these other things. That's the goal. That's the confidence I have in myself. I want you not to make the mistakes I made growing up that set me back. It's all about prevention, that's why the first one's going to be about self-esteem, self-confidence, and how to obtain that, how to make it happen. But the goal of this stuff is to give you guys the insight and the self-awareness on how to go through life in a positive way and not be self-destructive. That's the whole point about this. That's the whole point, is that I want people to say like, oh, it's too late for me. I'm out of touch. I'm too poor. I don't have the education. I can't do what Bruce does. I can't. Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. That's why the price of the trainings are not going to be like insane. We want to reach not hundreds of people, thousands of people. I want to reach, honestly, like 50 million people. I'm not going to lie. Because my stuff works. My stuff is battle tested. My stuff is proven. The people I've seen have gotten better. And I want you guys, who I'll never meet in real life unless I get a chance to actually do so, is to take that information, take that insight, and apply it to your own lives. So even if you think you're a screw up, you can't screw this up, because it's going to be gold plated. Follow this direction and you will be successful. That's it. No more, no less. Okay. Nothing self-destructive. Thank you, Luke. I appreciate you too. Nothing self-destructive. I hate that. I hate when I come into a situation like what's going on in your life. I've been in rehab. I've been divorced several times. I've been in jail. I have a problem with drugs and alcohol, overeating. I'm in terrible relationships. I can't hold on to a job. Practically homeless. I have no family. I have no friends. I feel like a loser. Self-destructive actions. I gambled all my paycheck away. I'm not stable. People run from me. That's Luke. Thank you, Luke. Thank you. It's the whole point. That's it. And another comment pouring in tonight. Thank you. I appreciate knowing that my mindset is okay, even though I'm shaking emotion. Yeah. Thank you, Bruce. Would love to meet you. Hey, you know what? People are asking this more and more and more. So let me just clarify that so everyone can listen to this. If you live in Las Vegas, number one, we are hoping, God willing, that the vaccine will start having an impact as more people get vaccinated. We'd like to have, if you're in the Las Vegas area, I live in Las Vegas proper, we're going to have a night at a park. We want you to come by and say hello. Number one. That's it. So I'd like to meet people in the flesh, literally. Come by, say hello. You guys want to take, if somebody want to take a picture of me, I don't know why, but okay, if you do, no problem. Happy to do it. Shake your hand, give you a hug, and just say thank you for supporting the channel. That's it. We're going to have that. And you know what? One day when we get a chance to travel, if we go to different places to see a Death Grips concert, we've talked about that already, my agent and I, and we're a different part of the country. If you're within an hour and you're going to go to the concert, even if you're not going to go to the concert, meet me outside the concert. I want to meet people. Yeah, I'll be here. You know what I look like by now. So, yeah, come meet me. I want to meet people. I like meeting my fans. I like meeting the commentators. I love it. Okay. Thank you. What you do is amazing stuff, man. Thank you. Legend of my own mind. I appreciate that. No violence. Absolutely. What do you think of the use of psychotherapy? It's a new concept. I was saying this before. The VA has gotten around on this to try and do things with vets. I'm open to it. If it can help people, absolutely, particularly with PTSD. So if it can work, great. Just be careful who's giving it to you. They got to have really a lot of training about it. Seek help first. Thank you. Can be self-destructive. Yeah, you got to just make sure you're doing the right thing. Now that sounds like the way to do Vegas, right? Thank you. Most of these people listen to Death Grips. I'm not arguing. You are their number one fan from me. That's what I say. And yes, they're a great group. You like Death Grips? Death Grips is good stuff. Absolutely. Luke, thanks for that. A friend commit suicide made me think a lot more of destructivity, like suicidal thoughts and such. What causes this? I was never suicidal before. You know what happens? You get into a rut where you think that's normal. That's really what happens. You feel like you're trapped. There's no way out. Like you're in a room where there's no door letting you out. The windows are all barred. You're stuck. It's like being in a prison cell. And suicide becomes an attractive option. I've talked to people who have survived suicide attempts. That's how they describe it. Everything is gray. Everything is black. I feel like I'm trapped. The walls are closing in. My only option. It does happen. I think it's the 9th leading cause of death in the United States. I'd love to, and yet no. It can be used, but it's like rolling a dice. You should always ask yourself, because I feel like you have the answers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nihilism is destroying mind and society. Good point. It's a fair, decent comment. Sure. Free to robots videos much watch. Yes. Another great artist, man. What could I say? We're doing another song by him coming out next few weeks. The guy's a genius. Was a genius and still is a genius. How you describe the Feed Robots video. Rest in peace, the Capital Steez. You know what? I want to shout out about that when we dropped the second song and the fervor for the next song, which is going to be Black Petunia. Thank you, guys. I mean, I was a little bit taken aback at the strong support for him and how people truly idolize him and his work. And for a lot of reasons, I had this comment before. I've always been, I guess people say, what's your favorite artist of all the ones you've reviewed? I've always said Kid Cudi, but Capital Steez is right behind. Those two go 1-2 for me. I really relate to Kid Cudi. We do one of his songs, by the way, and Capital Steez, Brooklyn guy also. I feel that affinity, and his music is lyrics. The lyrics are just incredible to me. Being trapped in a room. Yes. Hey man, I appreciate you there. You stay strong. You don't give up. Don't give up. Life is precious. Let me just say this right now, and I never heard this said before, and this is my own original comment. And if you're feeling that way, do me a favor. Sit down. I know this is going to sound old school, with a piece of paper. It looks like this, guys. This is called paper. Okay. Get a pen or a pencil. Write down how many people would be affected if you passed away. Just write it down. How many people that depend on you, that rely on you, that look forward to you? Just put down. Write their names first. How many people would be missing you if you were gone? And then you start to realize you have value. You are a person. Don't give up. Stay in the game. Okay. One memorable line from Steesley. Explain why I'm stuck up in this cluttered room, claustrophobic and one step closer to my tomb. Connects all to Free the Robots video. See, the guy had such talent. It's just unbelievable. He says it better than I just said it. But it's exactly how you feel. Claustrophobic. Cluttered room, can't move anywhere, trapping me, one step closer to my tomb. Yeah, locked me in. The guy could write. Why do you hide your subscriber count? I don't think we do. But if you want to subscribe, all the power to you. Wow. Okay, thank you. Meet again. We don't hide it though, Flip. Rips too big. That's what keeps me going. I think about all the people that would be devastated to lose me. Yes. Thank you. I know how it is when I lose people I love. I never want to be that to people who love me. Thank you. Yes. Put down all the people that would be saddened by your loss. And it puts things in perspective. You do mean something to people. Okay. Listen to Bruce. Thank you so much for everything. Big Bull, yep, that's what keeps me as well. Big, thank you as well so much. Much appreciation. And Flip Park, we don't hide the subscriber count. Not a problem. Shoot in any time. We have nothing to hide. So, yeah, we'd love you to be a subscriber. Keep it noited. Yep. Wow, plus means more positive. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. But that's my whole point. So, and then I want to share something also. There's been a movement in the last 2-3 years with therapy that they have what's called traditional therapy done online. Okay, fine. Oh man, questions pouring in. Big Bull, only one time attempted, never again, but understood. Love you guys, man. Oh, that's cool. Thank you. Don't do it. If you don't have to, don't do it. I struggled with thoughts of suicide for a long time. That really helped me. Now I'm happy to wake up every day and look forward to the next. Appreciate your words. Thank you, Rips. Appreciate you. We appreciate everybody that has the guts to comment. I can't say that enough also about people. You guys humble me. I learned from you. People say, oh, you're the master. You're the greatest. Teacher learns from his students. And you guys have taught me about hope, perseverance, hanging in there, having the guts to share in a public forum. I don't know if I could do what you guys do. I'm humbled. I really am. I leave this and I'm like, damn, can't believe these people had the guts to say some of the things they say about themselves. So all kudos to everybody that's commenting tonight, that's commented before, comment in the future. Thank you, because it takes a lot of guts to do what you guys do. Balls. These days, it seems that I live vicariously through others to find purpose. That my problems feels pretentious to me because I'm not anything special, and people suffer more than me. Not true at all. No. Does not make you pretentious. Talking about it gives you a chance to get yourself righted, to get yourself on terra firma. Go to people that give you solid advice, not to blow smoke up your butt, and be honest with you. Don't feel that way. True friends are there to reach out to you. A family that loves you will reach out to you. Don't feel that way. What you're feeling is relevant. Don't ever discount your feelings that you're not good enough or worthy enough. Don't do that. Thank you again, Meat. Staying too much thoughts and past suppose, you're right. But think about the people that be affected by, absolutely. Absolutely. And the more you put yourself out there to be the person you should be and you need to be and you want to be, the bigger your influence. That's it. And just think, it's not like you think like 1 or 2 or 3, 4 or 5 people, probably like 50 people. And the more you spread yourself out there, the more your loss would be devastating to more people. When you show you're caring about other people, it comes back at you. Don't discount your relevance in the world. Don't. Guys, the comments have been just blowing up tonight. Thank you so much. So Here's what I want to share about this. They have now a lot of what they're changing the focus of therapy. They're doing it a lot of it online. That you pay a fee per week. It's almost like a subscription service, which is what it really is. Like, for instance, there's a company called BetterHelp's Network of therapists for your everyday therapy needs. Take a quiz, get matched, start getting support via phone or video sessions. Plans start at $60 a week plus an additional 10% off. Okay, not knocking any of this stuff. If it helps, it helps. I don't have enough knowledge of how these things work to say if they're effective or not. If anybody who's doing anything tonight, who's listening, has actually done this, let me know how that actually worked. I'm kind of curious for myself, and you guys would know better than me. Only thing that I will with these services is you got to put it in perspective. And I'm not knocking the service at all. There's like several of them that are doing this. But the only issue is I doubt any of the therapists that are working for these companies are working for them full time, getting benefits, getting health insurance, getting a retirement package. They're probably putting out blocks of time in their day to see people. Well, if you're getting full, it makes sense economically for the therapist. But if there's going to be dead time and dead, there's not going to get calls coming in, or they're not going to be seen as popular, the person's not going to be as a therapist on this kind of site board very, very long. So just be aware of what you're getting, so to speak, and what their credentials are. And just ironically, I mean, nothing really new in life. 20 years ago, I joined a company that had the same concept, and they went out of business fairly quickly. I'm not hoping anything bad for this company, but just be aware of what you're getting. That's all. Okay, more questions popped in. That thought is very overwhelming. I don't want to disappoint my peers, I suppose. Good. You don't want to disappoint yourself. You don't want to disappoint. They look up to you. You'd be surprised what your void does to people. Love you, man. Hope hanging. Okay, thank you. Thank you for saying that, Ben. That's very nice of you. And that's something we also want to encourage also is our people reaching out to other people and being supportive. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Lil, I got stuck thinking about my past and sucked into anxiety all the time. Arnold. That's another thing, too, I want people to realize. What this channel is designed to do as well is make you realize you're part of a group. You're part of an institution now. You're one of us. And I want people to start realizing that. A lot of people say to me, like, I can't believe others have had this happen to them, Bruce. This seems crazy. That seems nuts. No, what's nuts is thinking you're the only person that's feeling that way. When you share, when you give honesty, when you don't play games, you're not pretentious, you're not being silly, and you are honest, people pick up on that, and they share with you. And that's my point. You're not alone. You know, I'm dysfunctional. I was molested. I was abused. My parents weren't there for me. I'm struggling with who I am, what I want to be. There's an army of people out there, a world of people out there. This channel is designed to connect people to that using the music videos, using the live streams, and using the trainings on the 28th to get people to realize you can help each other besides just helping yourself. Okay. Check out Jordan Peterson. I know that name. Okay. Your channel is awesome. Thank you so much for that, Miles. Much appreciation. And thank you, Flip. Appreciate that as well. I'll check it out, of course. Now, we have some more time. I finished the first one I wanted. Wow, went through an hour already. Here is the second topic I want to reach out, something I want to talk about. 10 ways to reach out in a mental health crisis. I get this a lot also. It's like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I say? Should I say that? Should I not say that? Do I write something down? Do I call the police? Very, very common. And here's what I want to talk about. This guy who wrote this kind of liked how he did certain things. I want to give him credit. He's also from the Healthline people. Name is Sam Dillon Finch. He's the mental health and chronic conditions editor at Healthline. He's also the blogger behind Let's Queer Things Up, where he writes about mental health, body positivity, and LGBTQ plus identity. As an advocate, he's passionate about building community for people in recovery. He's on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And learn about his channel, samtheianfinch.com. I like the way I took a couple of his articles. I like what he had to say. He was kind of honest about things, also about himself, with his own mental health issues. So I want to give him credit where credit's due. Here's what I want to share about dealing with people, 10 ways to reach out to somebody who's in a mental health crisis. First thing is this: reach out. That's it. Don't go through life like don't see, don't hear, don't speak. Some of the videos that I've watched of musicians that have killed themselves were depressing to me. Or watching their interviews where you could see so clearly the person struggling. And I would make that comment to my producer. I'd say, how could you go to a recording session and not pick up on that? You know, I've had dozens of lyrics where it was like, I want to die. I want to kill myself. Life sucks. Life is black. I'm going nowhere. I feel like I'm in a void. I'm in a tunnel. And the videos are like just depressing, falling, dying, just aimless. And then there's some of the interviews, they're just so like, wow, does anyone pick up how this person's reacting? You can see the person's clearly on drugs, clearly on alcohol, no friendship, no support, alone. You know, I feel so alone. I feel so helpless. Who's there for me? And many of them die alone. You'd think that at least they'd have their friends around to pretend that they care. Well, at least pretend to care to get the drugs and whatever money they could find and leave the house and then lie to the police about their involvement before they get attorneys. But nothing. So my first thing is reach out and say something. That's the first step. Reach out and say, what's going on? You look terrible. Are you okay? Is everything all right? Let's see. You can very frustrating, man. So many important. Absolutely. Thank you, Meat. Thank you, Meat. You're the best. Thank you, Big. Thank you. Thank you, Ribs. Meat. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Just thank everybody, man. Honest. Thank you, guys. Blowing up the phone tonight, blowing up the channel. Thank you. So the first thing is you got to reach out. People say to me, how did you come up with this, Bruce? How did you find out was I said, what's going on? What are you doing? What are you doing to yourself? You put on 20 pounds, you took off 20 pounds, you're like a fish. How much weed is there any weed left in Las Vegas that's not been smoked by you tonight? You're pounding down the junk food like crazy. You're blowing up. You're in a terrible relationship. You're not working. You're screaming at people. You look like you're out of control. I could smell you from here. When's the last time you brushed your teeth or took a shower? When are you going to bed? Being real. Reach out. Say it. Someone has to. If I don't say it, no person to be talking next. It's the coroner. Cause of death at this hour, at this time, due to loss of consciousness because of. Why didn't anyone say anything about these people? What are you doing? Why are you driving this car drunk? What are you doing? What are you doing? Reach out. Say something. It actually feels good. Yeah, helping people out. It always. Right. Because sometimes we don't want to look at ourselves and say what's wrong with us. But reach out. Reach out. That's the he writes this down, and I agree with him. Reach out. Okay. Many times the person that's in this kind of throes, that's in this kind of dysfunction, will often feel like this is what the guy writes. I wrote myself off as a burden. I isolated myself. I got lost in my own head. And despite knowing the danger where I found myself, I said nothing. Right. You feel like that. You could be in a room of 1,000 people. You could be on a concert stage with 15,000 people shouting your name. You're a god. You're amazing. You're a goat. Oh, my God. I can't stop listening to you. And you go to your dressing room, and there's 50 people in the room. Oh, you were great. The concert was amazing. And guess what? You feel like you're alone, like you're insignificant. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks. I need this advice. Thanks. No problem. No problem, Luke. We're here to help. Thank you again, Big. Thank you again, Little. Thank you again, Meat. You guys appreciate everything you guys are doing tonight. So that's it. Often the person sees themselves as such a loser and a failure and a freak, and like, why help out? They're hurting. Okay. And he says this also. No one ever explained to me how to ask for help. Like, what does it mean to say I'm hurting? Because we're in a society where, like, I'm tough, I'm strong, I don't need anybody, I can power through. Wrong, wrong, wrong. We all need a support system. We do. What? Okay, here, bang, real quick. Hang on, we'll with this in a second. Big. If my producer was not honest with me and say things to me like, Bruce, do this, Bruce, do this, Bruce, let's look at this song, Bruce, let's go in this direction, Bruce, here's my opinion, the channel would not be where it is right now. Being honest. I say to them all the time, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts? Not intimidated. I want to hear his opinion, because if all he says to me is everything is great, then it's not great. That's a bad sign, man. That's not good. That's how you got to look at yourself with your relationships. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. You know what they say in Judaism? When you open up your ears, most important piece, most important appendage, your ears. You know why? Because when you listen, it goes from your ears into your heart. It doesn't go to your heart. They're telling you the truth. You don't want to hear the truth, but that's the truth. That's it. There's an expression in Yiddish, if 100 people say to you there's something wrong with you, there's probably something wrong with you. Be honest enough to admit it. That hubris will get you in trouble every single time that you know everything, because you don't. Okay. Bruce, is it always a fight? You have days in the mirror? Yeah. Hey, I'm human. Big. I got problems too. Wake up sometimes in the morning, I'm like, whoa, another day? Sometimes I got to get myself psyched, to go to work and get myself ready to go home for another night of 2 hours of paperwork. Talk to my wife, pretend that I'm interested in her day when I'm really not. Listen to one of my kids who can drive me cuckoo. Like, oh my God, the same stupid discussion. Let's go forward. Got to go through the motions. Not every meeting is like exciting to me. Trust me. But I say to myself, I have value. I'm important. I got to keep on banging. Okay. Right. I always feel I need to be a man. Sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. Nothing wrong with that. That happens. Miguel, thank you. It's very true. Rips. My favorite thing I learned about Judaism, we all suffer in life, but when we walk with each other in suffering, the suffering becomes easier. You got to do things as a group. You can't, this thing about being, I'm an island, I don't need anybody. Nonsense too. Stupidity. We need people. We need human contact. Don't ever get into that mindset. The movies like, Hollywood, the movies, I'm a freak, I'm a nut job, I'm an assassin. That's just Hollywood. It's not real life. You need people. That's it. I struggle with accepting help from others. Very important thing is to come to terms with. Understandable. To admit that you need help, that you're vulnerable is a very, very scary concept. It's one of the biggest problems in addictions and mental health treatment is accepting that you need help. Accept it. We do. We need help. That's it. Geez, that's so true. Being with a lot of people away, saying that brings the most meaningful friendships. Yeah. At this point in my life, Triggered, I don't have the time to fool around. More than half my life is over. I'm on the down end. It's reality. Most of you guys and girls that are commenting are probably between 15 and 30. We kind of down that from some of the live streams. Your life is still going forward. My life, though it's very busy, is coming to an end. I don't have time for pretentiousness. I don't have time for stupidity. I don't have time for dumb. I need people that are goal-directed, that are moving forward, that are solid. That's why I connect with my agent so well, my agent/producer, because quite frankly, he and I are on the same page. And we both want to be successful. We both want to take the channel to the next level. If I had somebody that was like, not this week, Bruce, I'll get back to you, go nowhere. So when you're real, you get real back. When you give, vanilla, when you get, artificial, you get artificial. That's why I've learned, like I say things to people like, cold and hard and real. And you know what? People like that. They don't like the fluff. It's like eating cotton candy. The first time you can eat it, it's great. The third, fourth, fifth, seventh cotton candy thing, you want to vomit. It's too much already. It's too much sugar. Got to be real. Okay. What do I thanks for this? What do you do when you're feeling anxious? I put things in perspective, man. I say vanilla. I say, what do I got to be grateful for? You know what? This too shall pass. TTSB. It's Elvis had a ring like that on his finger. This too shall pass. I played in front of 50,000 people. I just ate 4 Sundays with peanut butter in a row. This too shall pass. Just do what you got to get done. You never get everything done in the same day, and just go forward and just try and be proud of your accomplishments. Not easy. What if I feel like no girls like me? Not true. I don't believe that. You have qualities of your own. Don't negate yourself. Figure out what you're good at, what you need to work on that. If you need to work on self-confidence, self-esteem, ding, 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 28th training day. Okay, you're going to learn about that, Miguel. But don't ever say you don't have nothing good about yourself. You need to get bigger, work out. You need to learn to talk to people, start doing it. You need to learn how to gain weight, get taller, take a better class, move up in a job career. Do it. Never negate your talents. There's someone out there for everybody. Trust me. That's how I feel now. Okay, get it. I'm 22. Still know who I am. It's hard to tell who I can be because I've always felt like I shaped to where I was around. How do you find yourself at such a late age? How do you find yourself? Guess what? You're 22, 57. Your whole life is still a blank canvas. And I'm not trying to, I guess I am. 28th, 5:30. Sign up for the training, self-esteem, self-confidence. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, you don't have to be with other people. Learn to be yourself. When you got that kind of confidence and that self-esteem, whatever's going on around you becomes irrelevant. You have confidence in yourself. Okay. 21. Focus on the things that you enjoy. Hey, thank you, Rips. You'll find people. Got it. Listen to me. Listen to Bruce. Thank you. But that's it. Never negate. Like, I'm 22. You know what? I wish I was 22. What I would have done differently. Don't feel. But your life is just beginning. Make it go on an upward trajectory, not to the side, but God forbid, going downward. Jaeger, I think taking the initiative with things that could do help with finding yourself. Feel like you mirror other people a lot. Perfect. Thank you, Jaeger. Thank you, Big. Yes, take the initiative. Go forward. People want to be around a leader who has confidence, who's not afraid of challenges. That's what I want to see from people. Okay? Everyone, whenever you see people running the other way, you run towards the problem. Because so many people will run from conflict. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to handle it. I was telling this to my agent because we're getting close to time. Last week, what happened at the Capitol, I'm not here to argue right or wrong. It's not for me to say. I was just telling him not one politician, though, from either side stayed. They all ran. If someone would have said, Bruce, get out. The Capitol is under siege. I'm like, then I need to be here. I'm a representative of the people. These people are clearly unhappy. There's something wrong. I'm going to have to talk to them. You're a cop. Let's go. Let's talk to them. And I would have said, hey, 25 of you, no weapons. I'm wearing a suit jacket. I'm taking it off. I'm taking off my tie. You guys hungry? I'll get Domino's. You thirsty? I got water in my office. Come in. I'm here to listen. I got an aide. Start writing. Imagine the optics on something like that. Are you going to punch a 60-year-old black guy in the face? Your movement would disintegrate overnight. You're going to take a 45-year-old woman and smash her to the ground? Who would take you seriously? But I'm here to listen. That's what I would have done. I wish someone would have done that. Run. You run towards the problem. Countries unhappy. People are upset. Well, it's not about white, brown, yellow, purple, Democrat, Republican. You run to the problem. I'm here to listen. Not about your political career, though it would have blown up the next day. We're fine here, officer. No, SWAT. We're good, man. We're good. We're good. Take pictures with everybody. Take selfies with everybody. Sir, can you take off that shirt? That's offensive to some people in the room. Control the situation. Leadership. I look for that when I played sports. Who was the team captain? Who's in charge? Who's in charge? That's the point. Okay. No problem, Big. Thank you. Rip's only 25. Only just now starting to build self-confidence and finding myself. Thank you for saying that. Thank you, Miguel. Nah, legend of my own mind. Rips, Bruce, you the man. Happy to do it. Do you know that mental health issues are not talked about? You know what? I'll say this, Soy. They are talked about, but they're not reality based. We don't want to discuss money. We don't want to discuss reality. We don't want to discuss really how to relate to people. Yeah, we're finally realizing there's problems out there, and people are talking about more than they did when I was a kid. But we're not at the point yet where we're honest about why people feel the way that they do. So yes and no, if that gives you an answer. Yeah, definitely not. They're talked about, but not talked about in the right way. There's a lack of money behind it. Whenever there's lack of money behind it, it's not taken seriously. I'll just put it to you that way. And we don't really work on what really helps people. We kind of dance around the topic because it often is too uncomfortable to share that kind of stuff. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you saying that. We got a few more minutes left. Just throw in your comments. No problem. So the guy said, I didn't know how. So reaching out, he says, is this skill where somehow expected to know, yeah, it's never taught and rarely modeled for us. Okay, here's my point. Find someone that can help you understand what to say. Because he writes in the next thing, we need to be more specific. Absolutely. Go to a person that has experience in doing this. How do I talk to people? What do I say to people? So much of my counseling is based on modeling. Well, I don't know how to handle myself in high school. I think I'm a loser. I'm not going to ever get a girl to kiss me. I'm afraid of being bullied. I don't know what to say in a job interview. I will tell you my mother, I haven't seen her in 20 years. She used to be an addict. Now she's clean. I just found out I have a brother in Australia. All these things, I'm coming to grips with the fact that I was molested from 11 to 14. Find someone that can help you. I model so much stuff where I use example after example after example after example. That's why I'm big on using TV shows. For me, it's movies, like scenes from movies. Here's what you want to know how to handle stuff. I'll walk someone through it. Stand up. I'll be you. You be me. Learn how to find someone that can model what appropriate behavior is. It's a great point. I want to kind of share that. And we need to be normalizing asking for help. It doesn't make you a loser for asking for help. It makes you stronger. It shows you have confidence in yourself. Self-esteem, self-respect. Go to someone that you can model from and learn from. I learned I stole from a lot of people how I liked how they handle things. And I learned from them. I'm not afraid to say I stole. Yeah, steal with confidence from people who are confident and apply it to yourself. You think they're okay? How can I make friends on Facebook? Be yourself. That's it. Social media, it can be a brutal world out there. But ask of other people what they like. Find a topic you find interesting. It could be from anything from A to Z. And that's how you get started. You like this? Oh, I like this as well. And I'm not saying anything specific because I can go on and on and on. But if you find something that you're interested in, trust me, there's at least 50 Facebook groups out there that like the same thing that you do. That's how you get started. Don't worry about it. Find something that you like and then join a group. Done. And you go from there and you meet friends from that situation. So that's what I want you to think about. Okay, we're getting close to the end. So any questions, shoot them in there. But that's the first way to get started is find something that you enjoy. Find others that like the same thing that you yourself. What do more people involved. So get yourself involved that way. I'll give you a better analogy. What is a forest fire? Forest fire needs oxygen. It needs wood. It needs combustible material. The bigger the fire will grow. It's the same thing. The more you put yourself out there, the more it's going to happen. And then you start off always with the same thing as like this. Hi, my name is Bruce. You. What can you say at that point? Oh, I'm interested in what you do. You're putting yourself out there in a positive way. It will come back to that same affect. Okay, join some groups. That's what you like. You can have many. Go. Thanks. Much appreciation. Thank you. All right, guys. Let's. So we need to normalize asking for help. So I'm going to stop here. Any last questions? Shoot them in. We want to listen to people's last few comments. Guys, it's been a great live stream. So let me close with this. Next week is going to be more of this topic. I see a lot of interest up. Be more about how to handle yourself in a mental health crisis, what you can do if you're part of it, or if you want to reach out to someone that's dealing with it. I see it happens to both sides here from the comments that came in. That's fine. And then 2 weeks, so will be the live stream again, and then the following week will be our first training. Again, let me get my cheat sheet so I know what I'm talking about. And again, it's going to be on self-esteem, self-confidence. Figure about the same time as this as well. The link to training will be in the description box to get info for the training, and it will be affordable. Yes. You're a legend, Bruce. Thank you. You do these things. I hope once I get myself situated, I'll be able to tell people in a similar fashion. Hey, appreciate it. Be great, little. Love that. Keep an eye out for the live stream. Thank you. They'll be next week at 5:30, followed by the training on the 28th. And the information will be in the description box. I'm trying to make friends around my area. No problem. Thank you. Thank you for that. And with that, guys, we're going to call it quits. Much appreciation. Signing off, Bruce Morrison, LCSW, Sunridge of Nevada. Thanks, guys.